Hey, this is Rebecca Dirks for PremierGuitar.com. We're here at Winter NAMM 2012 at the Marshall booth, where they have a whole lineup, a really great display of these little heads. And this is a 50th anniversary thing for you guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's our 50th anniversary, and really this is our first chance to show what we've got coming out this year. We're using the whole year for the anniversary. It's not just now, so there's going to be a whole load of other stuff coming out later in the year. But to begin with, we're launching these 1 watt amps, so they're reflective of each decade we've been in business. So we've got the JTM1, which is just like the original JTM45, but in a 1 watt form, very simple, straightforward to use. And then we've got the 70s one, which is called the JMP one, which is just like the JMP heads we had. And then it starts to get a little bit more feature packed with the 80s one, which is based on the JCM 800. And then what we haven't got in here, but we've got out on display, the last two are going to be the DSL one, which is based on our JCM 2000 range from the 90s, and then the JVM one, which is based on like the 2000s era. So yeah.
And they're all available in head and combos?
Yeah, they're available in head and combos. The combos have got Celestian speakers in. Initially, the JTM one, the 1960s one, is launched now. It's available now, and what we're doing is like a 10-week release on all of them. So in 10 weeks' time, the 70s one will be available. 10 weeks after that, the 80s, and so on, taking us through to about November of this year. So.
Are they limited?
Yeah, they're limited. Only going to be made this year. There's no fixed number just yet, but yeah, we're only going to be making them this year.
So after the first 10 weeks are up, is that one done, or can you still get it through the rest of the year?
No, you'll still be able to get them through the rest of the year, yeah.
Well, let's hear it then.
All right.
So let's move on to the 70s then and check this guy out.
Okay, yeah, cool. So whereas the first one had just two controls in the front, the 70s one has you've got bass, treble, and volume on there as well. You've actually got a boost switch on the back. And one thing I didn't mention is all 5 of the amps, they all have like drop-down power switches on the back, so you can take them even quieter from where they are as well. So yeah, this is the JMP one. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit the switch on the back. And then, yeah, you'll hear there's like more gain and stuff in there now. And they're still pretty loud for 1 watt,
yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So
then the one on the end here is the JCM 800. You want to show us some tones from that?
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, JCM 800 was like one of our best-selling amps ever from the 80s. So it, when it got to this decade, was the perfect choice really of something to do. So you got a bit more varied EQ in there. You got a boost switch and preamp and master, and yeah, sounds really good too.
All right, let's hear it. Okay, so out here we have the full lineup, which is really eye-catching. And you want to talk about the couple that we didn't get to hear?
Yeah, so yeah, you heard the first 3. So as I said earlier, to reflect the 90s, we've got the JCM 2000. And these, these final 2 amps, there's a lot more features going on in them. So JCM 2000 and JVM, they're both going to be dual channel. They're going to have effects loop, line out, foot switchable channels and stuff. So yeah, really very cool. Much more modern sounding, obviously. So there's something, amongst these 5, there's something to cater for everybody,
And then, aside from the 1 watt amps here in the back, there's a pretty famous one.
Yeah, so as I said, there's other stuff coming out this year, but one of our most famous amps was the Blues Breaker. So we wanted to do a historically correct version of the Blues Breaker. So incorporating the original type of fret cloth and transformers and stuff like that internally, and it's actually all hand wired like the original Blues Breakers were, which is why we've got the aluminium chassis here on display. So, it's something for the collector. There's not going to be very many of them. And next to that, we've also got something which we've been working on with Gibson, which is like the Gibson Marshall 50th anniversary Les Paul. So it's, really sort of, you look at some of the detail on there, like the 50th anniversary logo, Jim's signatures up there were Les Pauls. You've got the Marshall logo on the 12th fret. You can't see from here, but the input is like a vintage Marshall input when you plug in and stuff. So yeah, and that's the guitar and the amp. They're going to be available as a package together, like the ultimate guitar amp package in September this year.
With the whiskey?
You can buy the whiskey as well. That's a 50-year-old whiskey, yeah, and it's good as well.
Great. Well, it sounds like you guys have a lot of exciting stuff coming out, so we're looking forward to the rest of the year. Thank you very much for taking some time to talk to us about it. If people want to learn more, where can they go online?
MarshallAmps.com.
All right, thank you very much.
Cheers.
This is Rebecca Dirks for PremierGuitar.com.